Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. And if you're new around here, my name is Serena, and I'm on my way to creating the life that I want to live. And this is a journey of me trying to figure out what that is. Um, so I've been thinking about this video for probably a week now, and I say that like, why have I taken so long to record this? But I've had one of those weeks where it was emotionally taxing and I was in my head a lot. And a lot is probably an understatement as someone who is a chronic overthinker. Undiagnosed, but I'm pretty sure overthinking is like top of the list for me. I do tend to overanalyze things, and all of my decisions that I've made in the past have all been after much thought, analysis, weighing out the pros and cons, mostly the cons. I tend to revert to the negative aspects of things just to protect myself from either being heartbroken or hurt, or have to deal with the negative consequences of a decision that I've made. And so I've struggled a lot this week because of that for various reasons, thinking about the job market right now and corporate. And I am someone who unfortunately has devoted her lifetime up until now to corporate, which I'm not saying that I regret. I've learned a lot. I've grown a lot. I'm not the same person that I was, 10 years ago when I started corporate, probably more than 10 years ago, but who's counting? And I've come to the realization that like I'm stressing over, things that aren't really in my control, because in the corporate world, like you show up to your job, you do the best that you possibly can. You try to play that corporate game, because I know people will not say that out loud, but there is a corporate game involved, as much as people like or dislike it. And ultimately, you're just a number in whatever organization you work in. And unfortunately, if you don't fit into that box that is ever evolving, because over time, as you work within a corporation, 6 months, a year time, a year and a half, 5 years down the line, if even you still kept the same job title or the same department that you're in, ultimately your role and you dynamically change over time. And so I've been thinking a lot about this, and it really spiraled this week with me because I'm thinking about job security and all the layoffs that have happened in the tech industry. And it's just very concerning for me as someone who's a single woman living in Toronto. It is tough to pay bills and, have a life where I can do things and activities and explore, etc. Whilst trying to keep my expenses low, and trying not to incur debts, because I do have student loans that I am trying to pay off from my master's degree that I completed last year, and I graduated from this year. And so I just went into that negative spiral effect of like, what if I lose my job? How will I afford to pay my expenses? How will I afford to pay off my loans? How quickly can I find a new job in this job market? And the list of things goes on. And this morning, as I was meditating, I just had this awakening where, like, yes, I can control my actions and everything that I do, and I can show up to my job and I can do my best and continue to succeed and be a top performer. But, if the corporation decides that it's not in my destiny to be there long term, then like there's nothing that I can do about that. And I think I'm trying to control the narrative of it, and that ultimately is what's leading me to have this mental spiral. And I just need to be able to let go a little bit more and trust that God has a plan for me and a path for me. And whatever this path is, I don't know what it is, but I think there's something to do with this YouTube, and I'm going to continue to go down this venture. I have been enjoying it so far. The creative aspect of it has really given me a spark that I think I've been missing in my life for a while. And I think that, I was pointed in this direction. I don't know what the direction or the destination is, but I'm following it. And I felt inclined to put this video together and finally hit record on it, because I just had this feeling of relief while I was meditating this morning and trying to clear my head on everything that happened this week in terms of the mental spiral. And I really wanted to go into this week with a little bit more of a positive attitude, get back to my routine. And this is just a road bump that I'm experiencing, and it's something that I'm going to grow from. And I think the growth comes from just trusting the process. And the process may not be a 1 week venture, it could be a 3 or 5 year venture. But I just have to take it one day at a time and be present in today and make decisions today that will help my future self. And if you're someone who's an overthinker, you're going through tough times, like try not to dwell on the negatives. Try to think about the positives as well, because I think we focus heavily on the negatives in today's life and just everything that's going on in the world. When you turn on the news, like the stories are just crazy. And I think we really need to look at the positives and try to take those and really prioritize thinking about those instead of prioritizing thinking about the negatives. So that's going to be my focus for the week. And I want to challenge you as well. Try to think of the positives this week and, take note of how that impacted you instead of thinking of the negatives. So that's my challenge to you this week. And I'm also challenging myself as well this week to not dwell on the negatives, but focus more on the positives. And yeah, let me know in the comments how it goes and what positive thoughts you're trying to have this week. And if this has impacted you, please like and subscribe, follow along this journey. I'm going to be sharing these tidbit snippets into my life and also trying to help others throughout this process. And yeah, I hope you follow along and yeah, have a great week. Bye.